Hello, and welcome to Tabletop Game Talk with me, Chris Steele. If you're new to the channel, great, so am I. This is my third video, and this is going to be a watch me play video. Specifically, I'm testing lighting and sound and all of that still. I've changed some of the framing so you can kind of see I have a name of the channel up in the corner, my name down here. That goes away when you're not just staring at my face, but I figured a little bit of framing is cool. And then, well, actually, let's just switch right to it. Here's my overhead frame. So I'm stuck in a little corner, and look, down there is the game. So and I keep looking this way because my computer's over here. I'm working on that too. But let's really get to this game because I want to play Marvel United, and I want to show you how I play it solo, but with multiple characters, not using the rules in the book for solo play, because the rules in the book for solo play, frankly, kind of suck. I've already set up the board here. We can see we have a villain dashboard with our missions. I'll quickly go over certain rules, or the rules in general, so if you've never played this before, you'll get a good understanding of how to play. The order of these missions don't matter. As they get completed, they get slid over. So really the first mission that's completed makes the villain more active. The second mission that's completed allows us to actually start damaging the villain. And then the third mission, if it ever gets completed, allows the heroes to have essentially draw an additional card, so have more cards in their hand. The locations I'm using here are from Enter the Spider-Verse. So this is different locations in New York. When you set up a location, there are kind of faded out versions of different either civilian tokens or thug tokens. So when you set up the game, you just put those tokens on there. You put a threat token down here. Each of the locations has a special ability that you can use at the end of the game, or at the end of your turn, if you are in that location and there's no threat there. We'll cover the threats in a second. Three of the locations are pretty simple. If I'm here, I gain a heroic action token. Here, I gain a move token. Here, I gain a punch token. So these just allow me to use these abilities whenever. Then these ones here, this one allows me to add a civilian to any location to rescue a civilian from this location. So basically, I can gather civilians here and kind of put others in danger, I guess. That's fine. The Daily Bugle is actually fantastic. Reveal the top card of the Master Plan deck. You may place it at the bottom if you choose. That's great. And then Queens, if you have one or two cards in hand, you may draw one card. This is essentially healing. How many cards you have in your hand determines how damaged you are. So that's our setup. And I am going to use Dr. Octopus as our antagonist to this session. We're playing with 3 heroes, so he's going to have 6 life. So we'll grab 6 of those and just set those there for now. Essentially what he's doing is sucking the city into a dimensional portal. At least that's my mind, because anytime 3 crisis tokens shows up on a location, that location leaves the board and everything else collapses around it. His BAM effect, so when he has a certain cards that come up that say BAM on it, that is going to deal 1 damage to each hero in his location and places a crisis token there. His overflow effect, so if ever I'm required to place civilians or thugs on a location and can't, instead, that location will get a crisis token. If, again, 3 crisis tokens get rid of the location, losing 4 locations gets rid of the game. I lose. So that's him here. And we will just put our, I'm going to set these up like this so it's a little bit easier to see on camera as to how many life he has. All right, so the next part of setup is you take the threat cards. Now we'll shuffle his master plan cards here. And we'll just set those there. You take the threat cards, you shuffle them up, and they're going to cover up the abilities on the locations. And let's see. Yeah, that's good. All right, so up here we have Endangered Civilians. So each civilian in this location requires 1 extra heroic action to rescue. Normally I need a heroic action to save a civilian, and I need a punch action to get rid of a thug. This requires 2. Once I have 3 heroic actions on this card, that threat goes away. I get a clear threat token, and then the abilities shown. Here we have Vulture. Vulture has 4 life. And we will do that again so that we can see on camera better. Here we have another Endangered Civilians. Then we have Mysterio. Mysterio has 3 life. The Brooklyn Bridge has a bunch of Endangered Civilians on it. And then we have Sandman. And Sandman can actually gain life when the BAM effects trigger. And basically, whenever a BAM happens, these characters are going to do their thing as well. So that's that setup here. He's going to get placed at a random location. We're just going to pick a number between 1 and 6. Normally I'd have a die or something, but I don't, so 3. So 1, 2, 3. He starts out in Queens. He's easy enough to see. He's red. The other ones are just kind of going to be blobby blue plastic. But, you know, it's what it is until I get them all painted. These guys are going to start on the opposite side of him. So these are a big circle, and which puts Oscorp Tower on the opposite side, basically 3 away. So all 3 of them start over here. We have Spider-Man, we have Doctor Strange, and we have Howard the Duck. My little backstory for this is Howard the Duck was the first thing sucked into our world when Dr. Octopus was dealing with his Let's Destroy the Universe with Portals project. Oh, that's good. Yeah, there's probably an acronym there. And then Doctor Strange also detected, hey, someone's messing with the universe. I should probably go check it out. And of course, Spider-Man was already there. So they made up at Oscorp thinking, hey, you know, maybe the Green Goblin has something to do with this. And then they discover quickly that that's not the case, as they must go after Dr. Octopus. So I'm shuffling all of these here, as you do. Actually, I'm going to play at the hardest difficulty. And the way that that works is every hero has 2 of the same cards, in that every hero has a 2 wild card, every hero has a 1 wild card. To play at the easiest level, you just leave those in, and that's fine. To play at the hardest level, you take both of them out. And then you can vary the difficulty by taking one or the other out as well. So this gives me less cards to play, which gives me less turns to do what I need to do in. It also means that heroes are going to feel a lot more unique because they don't all have this generic, I can do anything. I've never played at this difficulty. I don't expect this difficulty to be easy. In fact, I would not be surprised if I lose, but hey, that'll make things interesting, right? So, removing these cards, and then I have a handy-dandy reference over here. To play multi-character solo, you just draw 3 cards for each hero, and that forms your hand. Now, I don't have a hand of 9 cards, like the solo in the book. I have 3 hands of 3 cards. And the way I do this is I just, you know, put the 3 on top, and I have, this is what I'm looking for. Once I take an action with Doctor Strange, it goes under, then I have Spider-Man, then those go under, then I have Howard the Duck, those go under. I can look forward and backward, obviously, to see what other tokens are coming up or what other symbols are coming up. But that's it. That's all there is to it. So it's actually pretty quick and easy. All right, so let's get started. You start the game by revealing the first master plan card. He starts the timeline, and he's going to move and do something. We don't know what that is. Everything else looks good. So, oh, this is a terrible first card to draw. Move clockwise to the next location with any hero, then move all heroes 1 location closer to Dr. Octopus, then BAM. So, 1, 2, 3, he moves over here. This is why we know it's Dr. Octopus. We're like, it must be it must be Osborn. No, it's Dr. Octopus as he shows up and uses his BAM effect, which is deal 1 damage to each hero in his location and place a crisis token there. So, we have a crisis token, and we have a damage for each hero, which essentially has us discard a card to the bottom of our respective decks, and we only have 2 cards from this point on. Now, if we get over to Queens, we can potentially draw up but that's very, very bad. Then all of the henchmen do their band effect. Sandman gains 1 health, deal 1 damage to each hero in this location. This is just very, very bad. Very, very bad. So another damage is done, and so we're discarding for Howard. We're going to discard for Doctor Strange, and we're discarding for Spider-Man. And really what we're doing is just picking the cards that we have to see if we can recover from this horrendously terrible start. This could be a very, very fast game. Okay, all right. So Doctor Strange is first. We have Sandman with 5 health, and a crisis token's already on the location. Oh, let's just get rid of Sandman like right now. And we don't have any choices to make, right? We only have one. Yeah, we only have 1 card because we draw up at the end. Nope, hero turn. Draw. So we're going to draw first. So we get 2 cards. All right, so we draw first. May take a look at the master plan and reshuffle it. So you may take any master plan card from the storyline and reshuffle it into the master plan deck. There's no way I'm putting this back in the storyline. Just not going to happen. So we're not going to use that. Instead, we're going to use Cloak of Levitation. This allows us to use a wild, and then we can either punch in an adjacent location or move. I think we're going to punch here, and then we'll punch in an adjacent location as well. So 1 down on Sandman, and that's Doctor Strange's turn. So Spider-Man, draw again, 2 cards here. I'm definitely going to use his great power, special power. So this is 3 punches, and for each henchman I defeat with this, I get a heroic action token. But I'm not going after the henchman. I think that I need to do all, well, let's see what Howard can do. Howard's going to get 2 punches on his next turn. So I just need to get him down to 2. So I'm going to use 2 punches here with the wild. Nope, we'll do 2 punches here with his great power. Get rid of that. And then we'll do a punch here on that, which will get us a heroic action token. We then still have the wild, and we still have the move. So what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm just going to rescue a citizen. Yeah, because I can't really do any damage to him, and Howard's got him covered. So I'm just going to rescue a citizen with the wild. And then for the move, I think it makes sense to kind of split up a little bit. So we're going to move over here. All right. Now, Howard's going to draw his card. So we definitely are going to use the double punch here. So we're going to punch, punch. Sandman is no more. So 1 threat down. And we get our clear threat token here. And I also still get a move. If I stay here, I can get a move token, but not using this move and not spreading out is going to probably be bad. So let's move up here. Howard's going to go to the high school. All right. Now, again, I'm still really hurting here, but this is how I manage my timeline as well. Is each time I pick up a new threat, I collapse everything into a single discard pile. Then I pull the next threat, and then I can always see the last card and the threat, and then I'll just keep playing, and then, again, each time. I don't need an entire timeline. Sometimes you have to interact with the timeline, which is fine. You can always just look through the discard pile. So let's take a look at what this threat is. Dr. Octopus moves 3. 1, 2, 3. So he's back at Queens. Master Planner. Deal 1 damage to each hero in any location with any crisis tokens. Then place 1 crisis token in Dr. Octopus's location. So Doctor Strange is going to take a point of damage, and that's going to knock him out. And a new crisis token shows up on Queens. So Doctor Strange takes damage. He is knocked out. KO'd heroes, if you discard the last card in your hand, lay the hero down, activate the villain's BAM. So he's been knocked out. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Dr. Octopus's location and add a crisis token there. So that was his reward for knocking out Doctor Strange. And then place it. So this is all taken care of. On my next turn, I stand back up and draw 4 cards, and then I can take my action accordingly. So let's go back to my next turn, which is going to be Doctor Strange. So stand up and draw 4 cards. And I believe I get to use those right away. Hero, draw a card from your deck, play a card, resolve actions. Yeah, next turn, stand back up and draw 4 cards. Maybe I don't get to use it. Let's just take a quick look. The heroes discarded the last card, they are immediately KO'd. Then immediately resolve the BAM effects. At the start of the hero's next turn, they place their piece back upright during the draw a card step. The player draws 4 cards to their deck. And yeah, so it's at the start of my turn, so I still get to take a full turn. Okay, so I rarely get knocked out in this game, but again, we had a really bad start. Okay, we're feeling better now. Actually, Doctor Strange getting punched and kicked up a little bit. Kicked up, kicked down, kicked around. That actually gave him some decent options now. So we're going to have double punch here. It would be nice for me to be able to use this, but there's nothing close. So we have 2 movement to get here, 2 movement to get there to try to take out either of them. You may search the master plan deck, remove 1 card from it, as long as the story card is based on the story on the top of the master. Ooh. Okay. There's not... this is a terrible time to play this. Oh! He ended his turn in this location. Did he get... No, because that wasn't there. So he didn't get a movement token. Alright. I really don't want to just throw away these actions here. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to play something where I can move. And I'm going to move here. I'm going to... I can't rescue here because if I do, it's going to cost me double. But I can place a heroic token here. And I can punch, giving me another defeated thug. And yeah, we'll see if that makes sense later. And now that I don't need to see that card, we'll just cover that. All right, so that was that. Back to Howard. Howard will be able to use this. He doesn't have, I don't have an option to do anything more than 1. So what we're going to do is I'm going to play... Ooh, he could move this way. So go 1, 2, 3. But you go this way. Take that. I don't really want to be at a location with a villain if another BAM comes up. But I don't see any other usefulness for what he can do here. So we will play this. I have now 2 moves and a punch and a heroic. So we're going to drop the first heroic here to try to get rid of the endangered citizens. And then we're going to be able to move 2 and punch. Actually, I will move. I will punch. And then I will move again. So this, yeah, that's all right. That's okay. So this allows me to not be here in case the BAM happens. And usually he's moving, so that's a good place for me to be there. All right, Spider-Man. Draw my card. And Spider-Man's going to have this move and punch. He's here. There's a lot of punching and not a lot of things to punch. But, oh, Mysterio. Mysterio should be taken out. I have 1 heroic action here. The problem is, again, only 2 punches. Even if I do be able to move, I can move and punch. But then I'm stuck there. If I go here, I can do the in and out, but I'm only going to do 1 damage if I do that. But it feels like the right thing to do. Oh, I forgot to do their BAM effects when that very first opening BAM happened. So he should have added this, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in this location, then move this card to the first clockwise location without a threat if possible. So he wouldn't have moved, nothing would have happened here, but he would definitely have more stuff here. All right, well, in that case, I think I will use this. So I'm going to heroic with the token, heroic with the symbol, move in, punch and then move back out. So that'll be Spider-Man's action, and go down there. Now, we have another master plan coming up, and that is, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we're going to add a civilian and a thug to each location adjacent to him. So that's going to be, or no, the one he's in. So we can fit a civilian and a thug. The one that's here, so we can fit a civilian and a thug. And over there, so we can fit a civilian and a thug. And we're also going to BAM, which means he's going to do a damage. There's nobody in his thing, but we do add a crisis token here. Deal 1 damage to one here on this location, then move this card to the first clockwise location without a threat. So he's actually going to move over here. I don't know that that's a bad thing. I think that might actually be a really good thing. And then Mysterio, deal 1 damage to here and add a thug, add a civilian and a thug. The thug overflows, so now we have another crisis token here. All right, so we've taken care of the move, the BAM, and adding everything. And I think it happens in this order, but this wouldn't have affected much of anything. It wouldn't have affected anything at all, so we're all right. Doctor Strange. And I didn't do this last time because I wanted to have options, but now we're just going to do it. So Doctor Strange has an ability, Orb of Agamotto. As long as this card is face up in the storyline, the top card of the Master Plan deck is revealed. This is going to be very helpful. But it doesn't have any symbols on it, so it's not going to help forward. But I can still use these symbols from back here. So I'm going to use the heroic action symbol to get rid of this threat, which then puts this here. And I have a move, but I don't know if I moved here, I could get a punch token. Actually, this would have to come with that. If I move here, I get a punch token, but if I stay here, I can get a heroic action token. And I think we have enough punches, and just moving for the sake of moving doesn't seem all that useful. So I'm going to stay where I'm at and then end my turn there and get a heroic action token. All right, and I think I forgot to draw a card at the beginning of my turn there because I should have 3. All right, so Howard is going to, oops, somehow we got messed up. Spider-Man is going to go next. Did I switch that order? All right, well, we'll keep the new order and Howard will go next. So he's not going to get any assistance from anything. Here, this is kind of overflowing. I can't really rescue citizens, though, not without some heroic action tokens. I could do some punching here. But actually, Howard does have this ability here. Deal 2 damage to each enemy in your location. This isn't necessarily terrible if I could get to a location that has more than 1 enemy, but I can't, so I'm not going to use that one. This allows me to move, and that's it. Howard can move, or he can do 2 damage to an enemy in his location. Wow, that is not great. All right, well, I guess I move. I'm going to move up here, and then I will end and get a punch token. Spider-Man is going to, he has the move here. I would love a heroic action token. I don't have that, though. Doctor Strange has an extra one, but he can't share that. So what to do here? Man, hard is hard. So I think what I'm gonna do, I can rescue here, but again, I don't have any tokens. I can zip around. I think we just need to look to see what Doctor Strange needs to do on his turn and set him up for a good turn. So Doctor Strange has a number of options. I can search the master plan. I have lots of heroic actions. So getting Doctor Strange over here seems like the best bet. So playing a move would work for him. So now where are we going to move here? So Dr. Octopus, we know, is going to move 1, 2, 3, and go here. He's not going to bam, but he's going to put a civilian here and 2 on both sides. So this is going to get another crisis token, which is not great, but there's nothing I can do about it. And these guys aren't going to trigger, so it's actually safe to be here. And I think that's really what I want to do, is just set myself up so that I can try to clear this off in a bit. So that is our master plan. And we know what's coming up. And then this just automatically turns. So we're going 1, 2, 3. We're adding a civilian token here. We're adding 2 civilians over here. And we're adding nothing here, but it's going to overflow with a crisis. All right. All right. So Doctor Strange draws a card. And we have move and heroics, which is great. And then we have double heroic here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the movement and do what we want to do here. So 1 movement from Spider-Man, 1 movement for Doctor Strange. I'm going to use this symbol to clear this threat, which knocks this off and clears this. I really need to start taking out some thugs because I don't want to clear this before I can clear this in essentially the same turn. He's going to get far more powerful, and I just want to be able to damage him right away as soon as that happens. So I'm going to end my turn here, and I say I may add 1 civilian to any location to rescue 1 civilian from this location. I do not think that makes sense, since this is the location that has the least amount of civilians in trouble, and this is just a harder goal to get to right now, even though there's a ton of civilians. I only have 3 thugs on the board. I need 4 to clear. So we're just going to stay there and not use that action. All right, Howard. And I really don't know when I messed this up. I'll go watch the video, but Howard is now our 2nd player. So he has a couple options here. Deal 2 damage in any location, or deal 2 damage to each enemy in my location. He's going to be able to move and do a heroic. So we don't have a lot of enemies anywhere. There's only, there's just not a lot of enemies. And I only have 1 move, 1 heroic. If I moved here, I could expect that Spider-Man would be able to take him out if I did this. Actually, that's not a bad deal. So I'm going to play Big Freaking Gun. Deal 2 damage to 2 damage in any location. And I'm going to do 2 here. I do not like his effect, and the BAM is coming up, so yeah, we're going to do that there. He's also going to get a move and a heroic. So what I'm going to do here is move and heroic this. And that'll get us closer to this. I expect, actually, we're going to, oh, this is not great, because I'm going to end up clearing this threat on my next turn, which is sort of okay, just not great. But I still don't think that there's a better option. And this allows me to get healed. So yeah, let's go over here and we'll place that heroic action there. All right, and now Spider-Man. He got a move and a heroic, but right now that's okay. I just need to be able to punch. And since I'm not going to get any extra icons from Howard's gun, Spider-Man's just going to do the 1 final punch here, which clears our 4th threat, takes this off, flips this over, and all this does for us is it makes the villain harder, which is okay right now because we didn't lose an action. This was on our 3rd card, so our hero, or Dr. Octopus, was going to make his action regardless. But I want to get that thug cleared as quickly as possible, which I should be able to do because we're going to move, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, why did Howard have to stand there? Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. He'll get knocked out, but actually, no, it's all terrible. So Dr. Octopus is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. Up there. And then he's going to bam. Bamming, doing a point of damage to Howard the Duck, which puts that at the bottom, knocks him out. We'll deal with that knockout in a second. And putting a crisis token here. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Dr. Octopus location, place crisis token. Now, the crisis token is there, so this location is now removed. And these guys are all moved clockwise. And now the city is getting smaller and smaller. That's not fantastic. And we haven't even done this part here. And this is actually where the order matters. So we try to put 1 here and can't. So there's another crisis eruption. We try to put 2 here. And that's fine. And then we put 2 here. And that's fine. But this is now going to cause this location to be removed. And the city is getting smaller and smaller. And then when he got knocked out, we did another bam. I think that would have happened right away, though, which would have done a damage to him, but there's nothing that he could have done there. The crisis token would have triggered. So I think what ends up happening is a crisis token gets... Yeah, I actually don't think the BAM would have done anything. I don't remember, but we're going to put a crisis token here just to try to level it out. Moral of the story is when things are getting destroyed, handle your extra BAM effects immediately so that you don't forget where you're at. All right. Whew, yeeks. Okay. Yeah. So Doctor Strange is up. Then Howard's going to have 4 cards. So that's actually pretty good. And we need to get rid of 4 thugs. We can get rid of 2 right now because I have a punch I can do here. I don't know what Howard has yet, so I don't know how he can help. So I think what we need to do is just assume that Howard's going to be able to do something and move. Maybe we don't count on that. Maybe we make sure he can move because we know we can punch, but maybe we should make sure he can move as well. And if we do this, then I can rescue, punch, and move. So we'll do that, and that's just to free up some space there. And then we can move over here, and at the end of the turn, I can gain another token. All right, that's all right. So this is the last action before the villain has another master plan, because that is what having that threat cleared. So if Howard can clear 3 thugs, I'll feel happy. Deal damage to a villain or henchman in your location until they have 1 health. You can't use any punches this turn. Ugh, man, this would be amazing if I could damage him, because it would just do 5 damage right now. But that is not the case. So I have 1 punch, so I have 2 punches. So I'm not going to be able to clear this right now. So I guess I'm still going to have to do that, though. So Howard stands up. I'm going to spend this symbol to clear. Actually, I'm going to spend my heroic action. Well, I'm going to first move. Then I'm going to heroic and punch the thugs over here. Spider-Man's there, so presumably Spider-Man can do something. But we're going to see. We're going to move 1 and bam. That actually is not going to be terrible, I think. We're going to have a crisis token there, but that's going to be okay. All right, so Spider-Man's going to be next, but first, because we have a hyperactive villain, we are going to do another effect here. So Dr. Octopus moves 1 here. he bams, which 1 damage to heroes. There's no heroes there. Crisis token. Then we're going to put some civilians down. 2 civilians here because we cleared those out. And then 2 civilians up there, which is going to lead 1 and a crisis token. I should really pay more attention. I have this ability. I should see what he's going to do next. So 1, 2, and then I need to free up 2 from each of these and 1 from that, which should be all right. Okay, so Spider-Man needs to take out 2 thugs, and I just happen to split them so well. Oh man, this is not great because although I have the 2 punch here, I put the thugs in different places. That's all right. So I think I'm going to use the move in heroic because I need to clear this up anyway. So we're going to clean this and this, which leaves us room to get more thugs and civilians there. And then we are going to move. This is next one coming up is a BAM. So if 1 hero on this location. Oh, he should have moved. All right, so that's fine. The last BAM would have had him move. So that's okay. I don't know if I want to move Spider-Man. I think I should move him here just to get another punch token. Gathering these up just feels like the right thing to do because eventually I'm just going to have to attack Dr. Octopus and take him out. So back to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange just needs to take out 1 thug, and then we can actually start taking Dr. Octopus can start taking damage. So I am going to play my... No, I have the damage token here too. So maybe... So now I have heroic actions, and I don't really need them all that much. But if I can do 3 heroic actions with this, 4 heroic actions, maybe I clean up some of these civilians and clear this. Because what ends up happening is... once this is cleared, I can then damage him, but if I can clear another one, then I get to draw an extra card for everybody, which would be helpful, I think. But the next person is still just going to have... Nah. We're going to do this. All right, so we're going to punch. Great. And there we go. And then we are going to be able to do a move and a heroic. So I'm going to move not here because we know this BAM is coming up next. So I'm actually going to move here. And then I'm going to perform a heroic action rescuing one of them. Then he's going to add 2 here. So there's going to be a crisis token there no matter what. This location is going to get destroyed. So, yeah, I think I just stay. I've used all my symbols, but I don't need to use this ability at all. All right, so that's it for Doctor Strange. And let's do the next. This gets flipped up because Doctor Strange is super cool. He's going to move 2, 1, 2. Bam. He's going to do 1 damage to each hero in this location. So Spider-Man is down. And Howard the Duck is down. And then this time, not down, but injured. But Spider-Man going down has him do a BAM again. So Howard the Duck takes another damage. We'll do that one. And the first BAM had 1 damage here. And then he moves to here. And when we do a BAM, I think we just activate the villain's BAM according to this. So this guy is not going to trigger again because Spider-Man went down. All right, so that's fine. And now we're going to do civilian. no problem. Civilians here, no problem. And another crisis token up here because one or more could not be placed. All right. I think we're actually in pretty good shape here. Doctor Strange just went, so now Howard the Duck's turn. And I am going to play Howard's special ability. Deal damage to a villain or henchman in your location until they have 1 health. You can't use any punches this turn, which is fine because I'm going to do 5 damage to Dr. Octopus. And this should be flipped over. Excellent. Great. Now it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man, it's time for you to take out your nemesises. Stand up, draw 4 cards, and I just need a single punch, and I actually even have the token right here. So can I do something clever and cool? I don't really need to. I'm just going to play this here, which does 1 damage, which takes down Dr. Octopus. Okay, I need to look into how the cascading BAM effects work when a BAM's triggered inside of a BAM. But otherwise, I think I played this pretty close to right. I recorded another video of a playthrough just before this, and I did a lot of things wrong, so I'm recording this one too. Anyway, that was my playthrough of Marvel United, and I can switch back to a front camera view. Oh, this button here. Hope you enjoyed that. If you watched to the end, great. Like, subscribe. I'm trying to build to 1,000 followers, and the only way to do that is to just keep doing content and keep getting better at doing content. And what helps is knowing that 5 or 6 people out there are watching videos. So yeah, just leave a comment down below. Tell me where I messed up. Tell me where that first turn was rough. But yeah, until next time, keep playing games and having fun.